This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing, which is the reign of terror of the wicked, is short? And if you don't know who the wicked is by now, we're going to get a quick precept and show you. And the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment, which is a short space of time, temporary. And that's who the earth was given over into the hands of, which is the wicked. Call hello Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, which is all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Bahashem Rikah Kodash, which is the Holy Spirit that deliver us all wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this truth. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the men, women, and children that serve in the Lord in sincerity and also truth, presenting their bodies as living sacrifices here in these last days, and forsaking this wicked and decrepit world. Continue to push. This your brother Mashiach, coming back at you with another refreshing and, Lord willing, it's edifying and straight to the point, as you can clearly see on the screen. DJ Trump, which is your beloved president here in America, Trump to allow 600,000 Chinese students in the U.S. When I thought that, hey, man, they was at war with China. They had spy balloons over here. They was warning us of terrorist attacks or EMP attacks or blackouts. And that's also where the pandemic started in 2020. But Trump is going to allow 600,000 Chinese students into the U.S. Now it makes sense on what Job was saying about the wicked. Job 20 and verse 5, that the triumphing, which is the reign or rulership of the wicked, because that's who's in the power seat right now. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is short. So his reign of terror here on this earth is short. And the joy of the hypocrite, and that's exactly what these goddamn devils are. All of these politicians, all of these presidents, all of these global elites. Because meanwhile, Donald J. Trump is allowing 600,000 Chinese students into the U.S. Who is he kicking out? The 12 tribes of the children of Israel, which consist of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. He has ramped up ICE to get you the hell out of Dodge. But meanwhile, he's allowing all the other nations right on in because they know exactly who you are.
You did a post last night where you said you want ICE to really target Democrats.
I want them to focus on the cities because the cities are where you really have what's called sanctuary cities, and that's where the people are. I look at New York, I look at Chicago. I mean, you got a really bad governor in Chicago and a bad mayor, but the governor's probably the worst in the country, Pritzker. But I look at how that city has been overrun by criminals.
And criminals is code word for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. We're the face of terror, domestic terrorists here in America. But meanwhile, Chinese, they can have spy balloons, agents walking around all day, and as well as 600,000 Chinese students. Just come on in.
President Xi would like me to come to China. It's a very important relationship. As you know, we're taking a lot of money in from China because of the tariffs and the different things. And
so that's what it's about. We're taking a whole lot of money in from China, from the tariffs.
It's a very important relationship. We're going to get along good with China. I hear so many stories about we're not going to allow their students, or we're going to allow their students to come in. We're going to allow, it's very important, 600,000 students.
600,000 students. We're going to allow them on in. They ain't even got to have no passports. They ain't got to have no green cards like you spics and savages and niggas.
It's very important. But we're going to get along with China. But it's a different relationship that we have now with China. It's a much better relationship economically than it was before.
Economically, who built up America? The blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You wouldn't have no houses if it wasn't for the Latinos. All these nasty ass jobs. Working at Burger King, Taco Bell, trash gatherers. Who was doing those jobs? Cutting the grass. Construction. And so forth and so on. We get the worst of the worst, but now they have what? AI, artificial intelligence, and they don't need you niggas no more. They don't need you spicks anymore. They got robots to pick the crops in the fields. And that's what the Latinos was also doing. Working the farmland. But you see exactly what our forefather Job was speaking about over 2,000 years ago. Job 20 and verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old? It was already written, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing, the reign of terror, and that's what Esau, Edom, the so-called white man has been doing throughout the world since this place has been established, which is America. That the triumphing of the wicked, that's what they're known as, is short. And let's show you who's synonymous with the wicked. Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, and Edom means red. They're not really so-called white people. That was a social construct to hide.
Strong's H123. Edom. Edom.
To hide their biblical identity. They're really known as the Edomites, the red children, because the blood shows forth through their skin. You can see Donald J. Trump right now. He looks more like what? His tie. His shirt is white. Nowhere near his skin color. So Edom equals red. Edomite. Idumean, the Greek way of saying Edom. Descendants of who? Esau. The first came out red all over like in hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Ishashua. Wasted away is he. He didn't have any melanin. He looked different from all the other people that was on earth at the time. Land of Edom, Idumea, land south and southeast Palestine. So going back to the video clips, but let's go back to Malachi 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished back during the Dark Ages, where dark faces ruled, or medieval times. But we will return the Renaissance and build the desolate places. Build back better. It sounds familiar, right? And that's exactly what they're doing. The New World Order, the one world system, merging man with technology, which is the fourth industrial revolution. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build. So he's going to allow them to triumph, to reign, and terrorize the earth for a time being. They shall build, but I will throw down. But the Lord is going to throw this bitch down. That's what he's preparing to do. Rousing up all the different nations, the kings, for Armageddon, the last battle, which is World War III. And they shall call them, who is them? The Edomites, the red children, the border of wickedness. So the triumphing of the wicked is short. And the Edomites are known as the border of wickedness. A border is where something begins. Going back to the garden, they was the serpent of wickedness that gave Eve that philosophy, a wicked way, and the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever. The Lord is angry with these folks, but he's subject unto his word. He gave them a space, a time of rulership to triumph. So going back to Job chapter 20 and verse 5, that the triumphing of the wicked, the Edomites, is short. And the joy of the hypocrite, that's exactly what they are. Meanwhile, we're the ones who built up America. the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But we the ones who got to get the hell out of Dodge. Matter of fact, this was our land, the indigenous people. Before they came over here and committed what? Genocide, wickedness, blanket filled with smallpox, and stole the land. That the triumphing of the wicked is short. And the joy, they've been living in joy, rich, wealthy. And the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment. And that's the reason why he's allowing 600,000 Chinese students. Because, hey, man, those tariffs, we're going to make a whole lot of money. Fucking hypocrite, man.
Biden, boy, what he allowed that, I mean, they just took him to the cleaners. President Xi would like me to come to China. It's a very important relationship. As you know, we're taking a lot of money in from China because of the tariffs and the different things. And it's a very important relationship. We're going to get along good with China.
We're going to get along good. The joy. We're going to have a very good time. We're going to make a lot of money. The joy. Right?
I hear so many stories about we're not going to allow their students, or we're going to allow their students to come in. We're going to allow, it's very important, 600,000.
600,000. But meanwhile, the ones who built up America, this is what he's doing to them.
New York and LA, look at LA. LA, those people weren't from LA. They weren't from California, most of those people, many of those people. And that's a focus. Biden allowed 21 million people to come into our country. Of that, vast numbers of those people were murderers, killers, people from gangs, people.
Who has gangs? Negroes, the Bloods and Crips, Latinos, Norteños, Sureños, Latin Kings, GDs, Vice Lords, right? The Native American Indians, they had different tribes as well, that they was warring with one another. What is that movie that shows you that? I forget what that movie's called. It's a great movie. Damn, I forget the name of it. But it's not in English. Damn. Maybe it'll come to me.
People from jails, they emptied their jails out.
Who overpopulates the prison system? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. That's who he's speaking about in code.
Into the U.S. Most of those people are in the cities.
Who's in the cities? MLK Boulevard. You find what? The ghettos.
All blue cities. All Democrat-run cities. And they think they're going to use them to vote. It's not going to happen.
There you go. That's what the left wing brought the Latinos in for. So they can receive their votes. But now Trump wants to do what? Get rid of their asses. So that's a hypocrite. But meanwhile, the so-called face of terrorism, the China, he's going to allow their 600,000 students right on in. But they're supposed to have sleeper cells and fentanyl all over America, right?
We have other cities also that are bad, very bad. You look at Chicago, how bad it is.
Who's in Chicago? Negroes.
You look at Los Angeles, how bad it is.
Who's in Los Angeles? Negroes. Latinos.
We have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem.
Who's in New York? The same exact thing. That's where you can find the Latin Kings, the gangs, right?
And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland.
Who is in Baltimore? Who is in Oakland? Niggas.
We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone.
There you go. These niggas are so far gone, they gotta go.
We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this.
But meanwhile, the so-called face of terrorism, 9/11, the Arabs, he ain't rounding their asses up, sending their ass back to the Middle East. But us, we gotta go.
And this will go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C., and we're going to clean it up real quick, very quickly, as they say. We're going to have a tremendous success in what we're doing. Other cities are hopefully watching this. They're all watching, just like everyone's watching here. They're all watching. And
damn right we watching. And guess what? We see you, Satan. Job 20 and verse 5, that the triumphing of the wicked, the Edomites, is short, and the joy of the hypocrite. A hypocrite says, but does the total opposite. He called all these other nations the face of terrorism, but now he's allowing their asses right on in and kicking us out when we ain't did one false flag shooting, one mass shooting. That's so-called white people that's doing that shit across America. COINTELPRO, that's all CIA and three-letter agencies doing that bullshit. But we're the face of that shit now. That's hypocritical and the joy of the hypocrite. But for a moment, all we want to do is work our jobs and take care of our families. We don't give a fuck, man, about anything that's going on in this goddamn place. We ain't doing shit but staying the fuck out of the way. But that's the thing. They know who we are. And they see what's happening, the awakening of the children of Israel. And they can't have that because that's the end of their reign. They're triumphing once we come back as a nation. And that's what was happening with the Native American Indians coming over here to America. They was finding out that they're the biblical Israelites through the prophets. But for a moment, that's all he has, a short time. And the devil, he knows that. And what is he going to do? Let's get it real quick. Revelation chapter 12. And let's start it off at verse 10. Check this out. This is fire. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation. That's what they understand and know, that salvation is getting near for the children of Israel. And strength and the kingdom of our power. You can't have two kings. It says Esau is the end of the world. And the progenitors of Esau are the Edomites. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. That's in second asterisk. So you can't have two kings. So when one's ruling, the other one's got to be at the bottom. We're in Esau's rulership right now. And guess what? We're at the bottom. But they understand, when our kingdom come, they're going to be at the bottom. They're going to be the slaves. And the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. What is Donald J. Trump doing right now? He's accusing the brethren for crimes, for gang violence, for criminals, and all types of other shit. Let's hear this one more time. He's the accuser of the brethren.
Maybe they'll clean up. We have other cities also that are bad, very bad. You look at
Trump warns other U.S. cities after deploying National Guard to D.C. And he's doing what right now in the media? Accusing the brethren for crime.
Chicago, how bad it is. You look at Los Angeles, how bad it is. We have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem. And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone.
So there you go. Going back to this one. He ain't accusing the Chinese of anything anymore. But we're the problem. For the accuser of the brethren is cast down. Remember, they shall build, but I will throw down. That's what the Lord said in the book of Malachi, which accused them before our power, day and night. Where are they accusing us? On the media, on the World Wide Web, man, on television, so everybody can see this bullshit. And the Heavenly Father, he sees it as well. Verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. We already got the victory because the Lamb was already slain. That's what they know. And that's what they're trying to stop, the salvation. And by the word of their testimony. What are we speaking right now? The word of our testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death. So some of us is going to be facing guillotines, firing squads, gas chambers, alligator Alcatraz. That's what he's throwing us, right? Death. But it's okay. Verse 12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens. That's what we're doing right now. We're in a rejoiceful spirit because we see the end of this bitch. And ye that dwell in them, this is our habitation. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Why? For the devil, that's what Esau is known as, the deceiver, the false accuser. That's what devil goes into, Diablos, is come down unto you. Why is he coming down? And who is he going to come down unto you with? The National Guard.
We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to lose our cities over this. And this will go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C. and we're going to clean it up real quick.
There you go. We're going to clean it up real quick. The devil is come down unto you. With who? The troops. Having great wrath. They're angry with the tribes. Why? We ain't do nothing to these damn devils. They know who we are. Because he knoweth that he had but a short time. The triumphing of the wicked is short. short time to do what? Establish that new world order, that one world system where he wants to mark you with the mark of the beast, that Sea-Hip or Neuralink. They know that they have but a short time. And how do they know that? Because the children of Israel is awakening. Matter of fact, let's prove it. Revelation chapter 11. And I think it's verse 11 if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And after 3 days, the Spirit's flowing now. And after 3 days and half, which is 350 years that we was dry bones, Ezekiel 37, here on the shores of America, until around 1969, Abba Bivens, One West, Elijah the prophet that was promised to restore the fathers unto the children of Israel. After 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God, that breath of life in Ezekiel 37, entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. Where are we standing upon our feet? Out on the highways and hedges, warning them of what the Lord is preparing to do to this place. And great fear fell upon them which saw them. They know that they have but what? A short time. Because the children of Israel has awakening. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And that's what? The rapture. That's what the Christian church calls it. But this is us being delivered. Salvation from the chariots, the UFOs or UAPs, orbs. That's also what they see. And they're afraid of. And they ascended up to heaven. That's our only way out of nuclear annihilation. World War III. Remember, they shall build, but I will throw down. That's how the Lord is going to throw Esau's empire down. With those missiles. And they ascended, the elect of the nation of Israel, up to heaven in a cloud, code word for chariot or UFOs. And their enemies beheld them. In the same hour was there a great earthquake. Those missiles hitting America. It's going to rock to and fro like a drunkard. An earthquake. And the 10th part of the city fell. There's 10 FEMA zones or 10 area codes, 0 to 9. And where? Here on the shores of America. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, a complete number that's going to die here on the shores of America. It says in Zechariah 13 in verse 8, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third part he will bring through the fire. That's the elect that's going to ascend up to heaven. And all you other nations that's mingled here in Babylon, you're going to die in World War III. And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. Here's the point. The second woe, World War II, is past. It's came and gone. And behold, the third woe, World War III, coming quickly. Woe goes into destruction. And it's right there at the door as these nations are ready for World War III. So going back.
Very quickly, as they say, we're going to have a tremendous success in what we're doing. Other cities are hopefully watching this. They're all watching, just like everyone's watching here. They're all watching, and maybe they'll clean up.
Meaning maybe they'll just leave by themselves. Well, no, we're going to wait for Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to deliver us out of this hellhole. And you, damn devil, you hypocrite, that's allowing now 600,000 Chinese students, but meanwhile kicking us out when we're the ones who built up America, that's okay. Because the Lord said this, Job 20 and verse 4, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked, you Edomites, is short. The devil knows that he has but a short time. And the joy of the hypocrite, Donald J. Trump, but for a moment, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, it looks like he's going to prosper in his new world order, his one world system. That Tower of Babel that they're building all over again, the digital system, and his head reach unto the clouds, that pride. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung, like some doo-doo. Take a nice shit, you wipe your ass, you look back, you flush that shit and toilet paper down the toilet, and you never see it never again. That's how Esau, Edom, the border of wickedness is going to become in the earth. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Where is the so-called white man? He shall fly away as a dream and shall be shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place anymore behold him, which is rulership. He's going to be a servant, a slave in the kingdom to come. So call hello Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Kwam Yashala, which means rise Israel, and it's on to the next one. Shalom. Fucking hip.